It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a UFO. We have the R.A.D. UFO in the house today. I almost dropped it. And should I say bada boom, bada bang, bada bop? I should probably say that because that's how I start every video. Yeah, we have the R.A.D. UFO in the house. Newest super trainer to hit the market. I know a lot of people on the Supwell app have been excited about this. A lot of people on Instagram have been asking me about this. So I finally got a pair to review. Now, if you are interested, of course, the tree cutters start going as soon as I do the intro. Now, if you are interested in running shoes, the culture of running shoes, or running, you are in the right place, and an even better place would be the Supwell app. So Supwell app is my app. It's the best buy, sell, and trade shoe marketplace out there, and it's the best place to find deals on shoes like this, because here's how it works. Somebody might buy this, or the Vomero Plus, or the Megablast. They put a run on it. It doesn't work for them, so they list on the app well below MSRP. So if you want to save money on running shoes, or be part of the best community of hobby joggers getting active daily. And we do have a community challenge coming up on the community starting Monday. They'll motivate you to get going through the holidays. It's included with the app subscription price. If you want to join the best community of people getting active, staying on that grind through the holiday 365, get in with us and enjoy today's video. All right, before we start today's video, I just need to acknowledge it's a big day for the channel here. A new tripod was finally purchased. Look at this beautiful thing. It's girthy, it's thick, it's robust. It even has a leveler here. And this is the normal one that I've been getting. Actually, Charlie bought me my first one of these on Father's Day 2 years ago, I think, 2023. Father's Day, and I've just been repurchasing them ever since. They last about, 4 to 6 months. With any of these things like this where you get a lot of flexibility, I always talk about trade-offs, right? You get a lot of flexibility with these. You can move the legs any which way. It starts to lose some of that rigidity and that compliance, or it's too compliant, and it loses the ability to pop back into different shapes, and it'll just slide around. So this is the Big Daddy one. You can see the one that I've been using that I got on Amazon initially. I thought I was purchasing this guy, and then I was purchasing this guy, and look at that. I mean, I was getting into all sorts of trouble. This is when you think you want the max cushion one, and then turns out it's a Barefoot Mafia. So RIP to this guy. Throwing that one in the trash. We got the new tripod here. We are back in action. Let's get it. Yeah, man, this is that full, solid metal. This puppy is not going anywhere. It is locked and loaded. It's funny, though. I'm adjusting the head here. There's this ball and socket type of joint that the other one had, too, and it's got me triggered. I have PTSD now because anytime I'm adjusting this, I'm thinking back to the old one, which was just breaking anytime I touched it. But we have the R.A.D. UFO here. This is a shoe that has been weirdly hyped up, a weird amount of excitement for a shoe from a brand that I've never heard of. I had no idea what R.A.D. was until about 2 months ago or a month ago when people started telling me about this shoe, and R.A.D. actually reached out. They DM'd us on the Supwell Running Instagram account, and they said, hey, we'd love to send you a pair of the shoe. And I said, you know what? I'm going to accept a free pair of these shoes because I had no idea what this brand is. This is a gosh dang $200 shoe. I'm not sure if it's a great financial decision for me to purchase one myself from a brand I've never heard of. We don't need a repeat situation from something like this. The Diodora Atomo Star, one of the worst financial decisions I've ever made in my entire life. I think this is, $220, $240 for a high stack daily trainer that they call a super trainer. Meanwhile, the foam is supercritical EVA. Worst use of money of my entire life. So I decided to accept this for free. I think it's going to be a case-by-case basis now if I accept shoes for free or not. And the whole reason I went to the independent testing was because I do think we need media outlets and people out there who are not influenced by the shoe companies. Now, I certainly have proven to myself at least that I'm not influenced by the shoe companies. And you know what's funny? The same guy
who called me small last year, actually recently emailed me. He reached out a few days ago and said, congrats on the growth of the channel. Are you going to be at TRE? So these guys are finally putting some respect on the channel name, but it's not really about that. It's more about, man, there's a lot of reviewers out there who get shoes from the brands. That's not a bad thing, but who also get money from the brands. And it's a tricky line. It's murky. That's a gray zone, right? Or maybe even in the black zone. If you're taking money from brands to do marketing, and then on the other side of your mouth or out of the other side of your mouth, you're doing a quote-unquote review of the shoe, that doesn't seem right to me. I don't think you should be able to take money from brands and still review shoes. Anyway, I did get this for free. If you can't trust me at this point, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. Anyway, R.A.D UFO. What is this? Non-plated super trainer. That's what they're calling it. Super trainer. And again, we just have to bring this thing out because this is the most fraudulent super trainer ever. They were calling this thing a super trainer too, Diodora. That means literally nothing. You can call there's no regulation, right? This is one of the other things that just gets me going crazy. You could call, look at the shoe I'm wearing right now. You could call this a super trainer. This is a roll recovery slide that I've been using as my house slipper. You could call this a super trainer. No one's going to come and put you in jail. Pete Hegseth isn't going to send the U.S. military to come take you out. No, you could call anything a super trainer. Matter of fact, look, they say super plush on this. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not super plush. It's a comfortable shoe. It's not super plush. So a lot of this stuff is marketing, man. Nonsense. Just means nothing. Means nothing to me. Means nothing to me. However, we can get this fraudulent shoe out of here. When they say super trainer, this is what they mean. Right here. Right here. We're going to have to do a little I feel like I had my lighting set up. Doing a good job. Now we have this new tripod. I'm not so sure. We need to make sure we have the angles right and everything. It still feels dark to me, but then if I do like that, I don't know. Is that potentially too bright? Let me know. Do you like it darker or brighter? Brighter, that seems more appropriate for something like the Super Blast. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about right there. You twist it and then, I wish there were something in between. You know what I mean? Anyway, Super Blast 2. This is what R.A.D means when they say super trainer. This is the type of shoe they're looking to go up against. And this is also why my mind was blown. My mind was blown when I looked up the price and I saw that the R.A.D UFO was $200. $200 for an untested quantity from a new brand. Now, I don't know much about R.A.D. Again, I've poked into their website. I've looked at their stuff. They seem like they're a cool, quote-unquote, cool brand that's doing some cool stuff that has nice design. I mean, look at that on the box. There's a little atlas. You could tell that they're funky and spunky, and they just produced a chunky monkey. But I don't know much about them. They're going head-to-head with the Super Blast, calling their shoe a super trainer and pricing it the same. So Super Blast, this was the shoe that pioneered this non-plated, fun, bouncy category. This is on the firmer side. Not my personal favorite. I have put a lot of miles on this to see if it could make any difference. No. This is borderline brick to me. Matter of fact, might be the OG brick in my book. Now, other shoes that have been great super trainers this year, and when they say super trainer, what that means is versatile. You have some race foam in there, bouncy, and designed to give you a fun ride. That's really what super trainer means, and maybe give you some speed assistance. So Hyperion Max 3, dual foam here. You get the more of the standard training foam on the bottom, the race foam on the top, plastic plate. This is actually not a standard training foam. This is a nice training foam. It was the same thing that was in the Hyperion. Really solid shoe here. Definitely designed more for the speed. Another one, and this is a shoe from an untested brand. And now we have these white guys out here. I feel like I have to turn the lighting back down. It's hard being inside, man. It's just a different filming setup and everything, and I don't think I've completely nailed that winter setup yet. We gotta do some work on it. I'm trying to do some work with the ring light situation and everything. So we're gonna have to workshop this to make sure we get the exact correct setup in here. But I'm not content with it right now. Something about it is just not 100% hitting. So we'll just have to figure it. But then if you turn it off, look, then you can see Oh, wow. That light is really doing a whole lot of work. This is what I was saying. Outside, it's even more noticeable in here. So maybe I should just be happy with how it is and stop striving for perfection, because that's pretty dang good. If you compare it to, I mean, what are we doing here? That's much better. Anyway, Tier Maverick, one of the best recent quote-unquote super trainers to come out. Daily trainer designed to be speed capable and long run capable. This one uses a PIBA based blend sort of foam. Definitely leans to the speed side. So when we're thinking about any of these shoes, you have comfort and max stack on one side, speed on the other. Something like the Megablast is more in the speed camp. Evo SL more in the speed camp. Super Blast is in the middle, and I would say it's even shifted more toward, if not comfort, long run capability. So maybe we say long run capable versus speed capable. And that's the whole thing with the super trainers. They're designed to do both. This is definitely more to the speed versus the mileage side. Super Blast more to the mileage versus the speed side. Hyperion Max 3, a bit of both, but with the plastic plate, leans more to the speed side. And then a recent one here that I'm really interested to see how the R.A.D UFO does up against. This is not, what's that English, man? Was that English? I need to work on my English, not my ring light skills. Nike Vomero Plus. This is my second pair of them. Put out a video yesterday, recovery day in these. I've really been enjoying it, man. Comfortable, bouncy. You get a lot of foam at a decent weight. It's 300 grams, so not as light as the Super Blast, but the comfort is there. It's still, I don't know, it's not completely blowing my mind, but every time I run in it recently, I've just been enjoying it, and that's the sign of a great shoe right there. So Vomero Plus is steadily climbing up my list of top shoes this year. It's definitely going to be in the conversation of the top max cushion shoes of 2025. I gave it a B plus initially, but I think we're going to have to upgrade it to an A minus or maybe even an A. And sometimes I do get these things wrong, or at least circle back and have a different opinion on a shoe when I'm on a different part of the training cycle. And that's what I said all along with this. It didn't feel to me like a pure recovery running shoe. It didn't feel to me like a pure max cushion cruiser designed for long runs, which would be this thing. Vomero Premium, absolute behemoth. Also a fun shoe, but so heavy, so much cushion. And this is what I'm saying about, man, you have these expensive shoes, you have these shoes that are designed to be super whatever. It's a spectrum. So Vomero Premium all the way on this side. This is the most comfort oriented. Something like the Vomero Plus would be here. You'd have, let's see, Super Blast maybe here, Hyperion Max 3 here, and Maverick here. Maybe you switch the Maverick and the Hyperion Max 3, but I don't know. It's hard because the Hyperion Max 3, this has more stack, but it has the plate, so it's less comfortable. The Maverick has lower stack, but no plate. But regardless, spectrum, right? Most comfort-oriented on this side, most long-run capable on this side. Vomero Premium, Vomero Plus. You could even throw Glycerin Max, Mag Max, that would be over here. In the middle, you have Super Blast, you have Hyperion Max 3, and then over on this side, most speed capable, you have Evo SL, Tier Maverick, Mega Blast. You can even throw Deviate Nitro would be somewhere in the middle toward this side here. Any of these speedier shoes that are designed for workout. So that's the spectrum of shoes. I'm thinking R.A.D UFO is going to be in this territory here. Mag Max, Glizzy Max, Vomero Plus. It has two types of PIBA foam in it, and I've heard it's really bouncy and fun. So I'm thinking this is going to be the closest comp here. Vomero Plus, this is going to be the benchmark. Also, this is $180, and I've said from the jump, man, $180 for Nike's top tier max cushion shoe. That's great because they could have gone $210. They could have gone $200 at least. They decided to save that for the Vomero Premium and keep this slightly more affordable compared to the market. The R.A.D is more expensive. Of course, it's a smaller brand. They don't have the distribution and the development efficiencies of Nike, but still, the price is the price, and you're going to have to be paying 10% extra for the R.A.D UFO. So that's the frame for the discussion today. Is this worth it versus the established Titans? What is it offering that's different than the Vomero Plus, Super Blast, Glizzy, and Mag Max? And is this one that you should consider? Because a lot of people have been saying this is one to consider. My guy Caleb Beck has been begging me to take this thing out for a week. So let's take a look at this. Ooh, nice packaging here, man. So this is some of the thing that you're paying for with a brand like this. You're paying for the nice packaging and branding. They spent $200,000 to $400,000 on creating this brand here. So this is actually what my day job does. We create brands for people. Not necessarily this, but any sort of company who's looking to redo their branding, they'll come to us, and that's how much it costs, $200,000 to $400,000. Now, I don't know how much they actually paid for this. Maybe they did it internally cheaper, but this is a beautiful box here. R.A.D. Delivery Systems, tuned for the future. An optimistic, sun-powered world vision. A sun-powered world vision. Ooh, R.A.D. stands for Rally Against Destruction. I heard this was a skating brand. This does look kind of skating inspired. Tuned for the future. Text 1-800-RALLY. Now we have booklet here on the UFO Super Trainer. So let's take a look at this. The ultimate flying object. Build speed across distance. So they're billing this as something that's going to do both, right? The speed and the long run capability. A super trainer engineered to reduce fatigue and improve running economy. A lot of marketing fluff in here. Aerobic builder, long distance runs, progression runs, threshold runs. Oh, we will see about that. I guess it depends on your threshold base, but I don't know if I'm going to be banging 520s and 530s in this thing. Okay, more marketing fluff. Anti-gravity. Wow, that is some bloviation right there. A soup foam is a dual density PIBA blend. The soft layer improves running economy and reduces fatigue by cushioning each step, while the firm layer delivers power energy return with every stride. So classic dual foam, firmer on the bottom, I'm guessing, softer on the top. You get the comfort on the top, you get the stability on the bottom. Glide geometry. So rocker catch and release system. I have no idea what that is. Delivering cushioning and energy return in perfect harmony. Okay, so they're saying impact absorption, the squish and the release, and infinity pace, engineered for comfort and speed across distance, a precision instrument for every phase of your training. Yeah, they've invested a lot in the branding of this, man. If you want to make a splash, if you want to make a statement with your shoe, this is how you do it, man. They're putting themselves on the map with this thing. Yeah, soup foam, stack height tuned for cushion landings and weightless takeoffs. And it just feels like something cool, man, when you got a toy as a kid, or when you got a video game, or when you got something that you really like a jersey, and it comes with something like this. This is what you save and you put in that box and you look at it for a long time. So nice job with the packaging and the branding and all the marketing around it. This is one for the sickos for sure. Yeah, R.A.D. Delivery Systems. This box is sick. I'm keeping this box for sure. This is going to be our deals list box. And then shoebox, also cool, man. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, UFO, nice designs all over the box. Let's see. Anything of note on the sides? Men's 10.5. Ooh, I saw it. Okay, I think we just got to open it now. I saw it. It was pink. Bada boom. Bada bang, bada bop. Woo, baby. Dude, this is a good looking shoe. So there has been a drought over the past few months. This entire year, there has been a drought in pink men's shoes. And R.A.D. with the UFO, they're saving us from that drought. Look at this thing. Beautiful. So first thing I'm noticing, the rocker. Look at this. Beautiful rocker right here. You get a nice wide base. This is just a classic Max Cushion Gang shoe, man. And this foam, ooh, dude, this foam does feel really nice. The other thing about this shoe, it looks like a basketball shoe with the design of the upper. It looks like one of those old KDs or the Anthony Edwards shoes. It really does look like a basketball shoe. It doesn't look like a running shoe. So they've put a lot of effort into making this look distinctive and different. I am seeing some of that UFO or flying saucer imagery or more motifs with the way that they've sculpted this midsole. Yeah, overall looks really nice. Ooh, man, even the insole has the design on it. So this is fully branded, fully designed. It's almost like what Tracksmith does with their New England prep aesthetic, but this one is more of that cutting edge. I don't even know if it's tied to a specific location, but more of a mindset and a culture. It's designed to be cool. It feels cool. But the thing I like about it is not doing the bandit thing where it can be very self-serious. Anytime you try to go cool, it can come across as self-serious and standoffish. That's my issue with some of the Bandit branding. This is not. There's still this fun to it. There's a playfulness to it. It's very approachable. I mean, they did it in bright pink from top to bottom. It looks comfortable. It looks like something you want to stick your foot in, but it very much does feel to me or look to me like a basketball shoe. Just look at the front half here. If you block out the back half, does this not look like something you see on NBA? Just the front half right here, such a basketball vibe to it. I don't know why. I think it's just the front silhouette and what they've done with the upper here. Anyway, it's not a basketball shoe. It's a running shoe. Huge chunk of foam on the back. This has got to be one of the girthiest back ends we've seen all year. I mean, compare that to the Hyperion Max 3. Holy cow, that is a chunky monkey. Compare it to, let's see, Vomero Premium. Yeah, we've got even more width than the Vomero Premium. That's crazy. But the thing is, it's going to be lighter. Now, I don't think this is the lightest shoe. Of course, we'll throw it on the scale. Compared to something like the Tier Maverick, we will see. But you are getting a lot of foam under here. So we'll just have to see. My things with this shoe, you're getting a lot of foam. I'm sure it's going to be bouncy. I'm sure it's going to be fun. But can it truly deliver on the promise of the super trainer vibe, which is speed and comfort? For some people, maybe. For others, maybe not. I'm guessing it's going to be more of that Vomero Plus, where maybe you don't take it out for real workouts, but for faster daily miles and for fun everyday runs, it is your ticket to a good time. So with that, let us get some specs and we can take it outside and lace it up. All right, man. Weighing in the R.A.D. UFO. So let's get straight to it. I think Vomero Plus, just from everything I'm seeing, I think Vomero Plus is going to be the benchmark here. So Vomero Plus, size 10.5 for me, comes in at 314 grams. But I've got to say, it feels lightweight on foot. It really does. With all the cushion you get in the bounce, it doesn't feel like a big heavy shoe. Now, the shoe that does feel like a big heavy shoe, even though I like it, is this one. Man, this is a clunky, chunky monkey. Nike Vomero Premium, 362 grams for over 50 millimeters of stack height in the back. Just absolutely ridiculous. But these more comfort-oriented shoes, you can see they are above 300 grams in my size. Why don't we grab the Mag Max, actually? I haven't grabbed that one for a while. So my OG favorite Max Cushion Gang shoe here, the Puma Mag Max, 314 grams. Same weight as the Vomero Plus, actually. Is the Vomero Plus the new Mag Max? Is it? Is it? That would be a funny twist, wouldn't it be? And wow, look at that. Asics Gel Nimbus, 314 grams as well. So it looks like a lot of my favorites of these Max Cushion shoes are around 314 grams. And I think that's the spot for me. It's going to be different for everybody based on your size, but that's the spot for me where you can get enough cushion and stack underfoot to be comfortable, but you're not doing crazy things to shave the weight down and it's not too aggressive. So that's a nice sweet spot there. If you go to these speedier shoes, Tier Maverick, you're going to see we're well under 300. This is 252 grams in my size, and I did put a more comfortable insole in here. So I think stock, this was around 240 grams. Either way, much lighter than the Comfort Max Cushion shoes. Something like the Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro 3. Speedier option in the super trainer category or speed day category, 266 grams. And then let's throw the Hyperion Max 3 on, plastic plated shoe. This is on the heavier end for these shoes. This is almost up near Vomero Plus, Mag Max, and Nimbus at 312 grams. One more before we put on our UFO here. We have the Super Blast, 263, and I do have the standard insole back in there. So this is the lightest of the non-plated, more comfort-oriented, versatile shoes at 263 grams, but it just has this very firm, hollow, stiff feel to me that I do not love. So with that, let's throw on the R.A.D. UFO, and I've got to say, man, just the more that I'm looking at the shoe, and of course I've seen this a ton online, post on the app, etc., but the more I'm looking at the shoe, man, the more I love it. They nailed the design of this. Absolutely nailed the design, the aesthetics. It's like nothing I've seen before. It looks fresh. It looks new. But again, it looks fun and approachable. Just really nice job on the design. All right, putting this thing on the scale. Woo! Man, can you see that? 275. That's almost down near the Super Blast, man. So that's 40 grams lighter than the Vomero Plus, than the Mag Max, and the Nimbus. Now we're talking, baby. Look at that. All right, let's get a stack check. Man, if we're benchmarking against the Vomero Plus here, the R.A.D UFO is already doing super well. 275 versus 315. That's crazy. So to get a benchmark again, let's get a check in the back here. So Vomero Plus heel stack, just about 40. Now this pair has 56 miles on it. I checked on Strava last night, and I do think I've updated all my miles accurately, and that's been in 1 week too, by the way. I've just been running a ton in the Vomero Plus in the past week, and this fresh pair. So 40 millimeters in the back at 315 grams. Mag Max is also around that. I'm not going to throw it in the stack rater because this has well over 200 miles, so it's not really a good comparison with the R.A.D UFO at this point. But out of the box, it did have more than 40 millimeters of stack in the back. Same thing with the Nimbus. Same thing with the Super Blast. Let's just throw this guy in and see, man. I'm telling you, dude, this is a funky, chunky monkey. This looks massive, absolutely massive. And because of the rocker here, so one thing I'm noticing, look at this. The back of the heel is not down. It might have some of that Vomero Plus thing because of how aggressive this rocker is, where you have to get up on the midfoot and the forefoot to get the most bounce. That should be okay, but it potentially will mean that it's a better speed shoe. So maybe this is going to be speedier than I thought. But let's get a stack check in the back the best we can. I'm going to have to put this heel down toward the ground. Otherwise, we'll be measuring air. Yeah, 37.9 when I do it that way. So let's see. It looks like it's one of these shoes like the Cielo and the Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro 3 because of that aggressive rocker, where you're getting the most foam in the midfoot and not the heel. Now, if we don't press the heel down, look at that. You're getting 47.4. So this is where the issue comes into play. This is actually how Running Warehouse measures it. So let me break down the stack rater. You'll see what I'm saying here. So look at this. The heel, the center point of the heel cup is not touching the ground. Right? This is all not touching the ground until right, let's see if I can get right here. Right here. This is the part of the shoe in the back that's touching the ground. That's not the heel cup. The center point of the heel cup where the stack is taken is right here. So there's 37 millimeters between the heel and the ground, but you have to do it on the back here to get the measurement. This is why data sometimes is not everything. If we measure here, which you can't do that because that's inside the shoe, or at least I can't. I might be able to get the stack. Should we try doing that? See how much foam is in the midfoot? Okay, why don't we try doing that? I've never done this before, but we can do a midfoot check and see. And this is exactly an example of why shoes that are not illegal, like the Metaspeed Ray and the Hoka Cielo, measure in above 40 millimeters in the back and in different places, because measure in above 40 millimeters, because in the back you could see we were below 40 millimeters on this guy, but in the middle we are likely going to be above. So this is interesting experiment here with the stack height. I think this middle is where we're going to get the highest number. Yep, look at that. 44.9 or 45. So this is what I'm saying. With the rocker and how they've sculpted it, you have about 37 to 40 millimeters back here, and then it fattens out in the middle. You get over 40, and then it's going to taper. So you get a ton of foam in the midfoot. This is going to encourage a midfoot strike, and it's going to encourage you to get up on the front of the platform and go. So that could be good for some people, maybe not the best for others. I'm guessing it's not going to be the best for slow jogging, and it might have more of that aggressive feel to it. But you know what? There's only one way to find out. Why don't we lace it up? Hold on, I forgot the QA check inside. Also, it's not even that bad outside today. It's kind of nice. I had terrible, weird lighting indoors for no reason. I could have been out here. I mean, look at this beautiful lighting. Anyway, left side. Man, left side is even lighter at, can you see that? 268 grams. Wow, so QA slightly off, 268 versus 274, 275. Nothing crazy. I would love to see it below 4 grams, but left side was even lighter. So, wow, very light shoe, man. This is almost Super Blast levels of light, significantly lighter than the Mag Max, the Nimbus, and the Vomero Plus. Nice job, R.A.D. I'm telling you, man, the design vibe and attention to detail here and the production quality on these shoes, it's like a anaerobic natural from Black and White versus a dark roast from Starbucks. And I guess the dark roast from Starbucks would be the Brooks Glycerin 22 or something. But this just feels really well put together. It's almost like an art piece, man, with the design and the box and everything. Yeah, lacing it up. So I got a 10.5. Feels true to size. And comfortable step-in feel, man. A lot more comfortable than I was expecting, especially for what's being billed as a super trainer, especially with the lightweight and everything. You can see some good squish and roll. Ooh, look at that. A little viral squish test action. Yeah, and I can feel that balance of soft and firm foams in here. Now, the thing that I don't love, it's the classic when you put that high stack in the midfoot with the really aggressive heel bevel and the rocker. It's what happens in the Cielo. It's what happens in the Mizuno, the Wave Rebellion, Flash. You just have that high midfoot stack, and yeah, you can't really be leaning back. It very much puts you forward up on your toes, which can be a good thing if you're trying to run fast, but kind of a weird thing if you're using it for walking or standing. I can feel that the majority of foam, or not the majority of foam, but I can feel that the highest point is under my arch, which is kind of a weird sensation. All right, let's do a walk test. Man, R.A.D UFO on foot here. I'm trying to place what it reminds me of, do some recall. There's no one exact comp, at least that's coming to mind yet. A little Nimbus-y with the foam feel, definitely in the Goldilocks zone, but leaning to soft. You can tell it has some good squish in here. Little Mag Maxi with the width, but it's not as heavy, and it's also not as stacked in the back. Remember, we're only 37 millimeters in the heel versus Mag Max out of the box above 40. It's different. There's no one exact thing. Oh, a little Vomero 17-ish. That's a deep cut for people. I've seen the Structure Plus is leaking, and that's Zoom X inside of React X. The Vomero 17 was very similar. You had Zoom X on top of Cushlon. So I'm getting a little bit of that Vomero 17 vibe from this with the softer layer of Piba on the top. I don't know. Unique for sure. And there's some more flexibility up here in the forefoot and control than I expected. So I don't think we're going to be fighting against a big stack here. This might be livelier and more nimble than I expected. Maybe it is going towards that Megablast camp. And I do have to say, on foot here, a lot more comfortable than the Megablast was on step-in. This is more Nimbus than Megablast in terms of the comfort. And man, I just cannot get over how good this looks, dude. This looks like an old T-Mac shoe or something. They really mined the archives for some good design inspo. The 90s and the early 2000s basketball aesthetics. I don't know if that was on their mood boards for these, but it really is coming through. I feel like I have a cool retro basketball shoe on, man. Just a vibe. All right. Plan for this run, I'm going to get I don't know, 8 to 12 miles. We'll see how I'm feeling. I did a pretty hard workout on Wednesday, so at least an hour, test these at normal aerobic paces, nothing too crazy. Maybe I'll do some strides or something, or pick up the pace for 1 mile, but just probably around 7 flat, 7:30, 7:45, and see how they do. Let's do it. By the way, before we go, I apologize in advance for any wind noise. This is the GoPro Media Mod, and look at this. This is the mic for the Media Mod. There was this piece that covered the mic. It was a windscreen that was not attached to it for some reason. I don't know why you would want to take off the windscreen, but the windscreen was not attached to this, and it had been falling off on and off for the past few months, and then finally yesterday it fell off and I couldn't find it when I was with Roni. And I said, okay, no big deal. I'll just order another one on Amazon. It turns out you can't just buy the windscreen. There's entire Reddit threads of people complaining about this. You have to buy an entire new media mod, and these things are $100. So I guess because I accepted the free R.A.D shoes, I can't complain, and I'll buy one of these. Maybe I'll even buy 2 so I have a backup. But that's all to say for today. The wind noise on the run is probably going to be more than normal, and I apologize for that because I lost the windscreen. Also, GoPro, you should definitely sell the windscreens separate. All right, let's get the miles in. Just kidding. I did one more look in the car and I found it. Guess where I found it? In Roni's seat. Look at this thing, man. Look, why would you not sell backup pairs of this? And it's falling apart and everything. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's get these miles in. Yeah, another shoe this reminds me of, Peba, feels a little bit like the Puma Magnify. Also just blows my mind, how is this random brand coming out with this crazy shoe? Meanwhile, New Balance and On are doing God knows what. Ooh, this is fun, man. Yeah, it really wants you to land mid-foot, forefoot. Yeah, this rocker is incredible. Oh, the tree guys are still going to town over there. Man, I can't place what this reminds me of. I just can't. This is great though. Man, comfortable, bouncy, fun. I think for me, this is going to be similar to the Vomero Plus. High stack daily trainer that encourages picking up the pace. And man, oh, just doing a little surge here. Yeah, that toe off. Dude, this thing feels like it can rip. Man, high stack Rebel. Is that what this is? Feels a little like that. Yeah, dude, out of the box, this is a banger. This is a banger. Yeah, perfect squish and release, toe off in the front. It's just beautiful. This is impressive. This is impressive for a first entry from a new brand.
to be able to do this. It's also really hard to get non-plated PIBA right. It's usually too firm. But this is nice, man. This is perfect. Comfortable and bouncy. It's like a lighter Mag Max. Yeah, this is a good one for the Max Cushion gang, man. This is a good one. This is a good one. Man, this is comfortable, but it has a really quick, fun feel. When you get up at the front, I'm not gonna do a workout today because I need to recover, but feels like you could. R.I.P. Super Blast. R.I.P. Super Blast. Mile 1, 7:28. Man. Yeah, this is a good one. Man, the grip on these is really sticky too. Yeah, this thing just wants you to hammer. This thing just wants you to go. So energetic. Yeah, the rocker on these is pretty crazy. Cielo OG vibes. For sure. Cielo OG vibes, man. Man, today's supposed to be another recovery day. This thing has got me hammering. I've got to pull myself back. But dude, it really puts you up on your toes. And with how energetic the foam is, just wants you to get that cadence going. It's quick, it's surprisingly quick. It's like a comfy Evo SL. But yeah, I gotta rein it in here in this thing, man. Maybe I'll let a mile fly at the end, but I'm not trying to go too hard today. This thing wants me down at 6:30. Feels like a Zone 3 Champs shoe. Mile 2, 7:10. Just moving. Oh, they fixed the for sale sign. So I guess the realtor here watches my channel. It's kind of mega blasty too. Except I think natural 4-foot runners are gonna love this even more. Because it wants you to land up there. Very Evo SL with the geometry. Not again, man. Not again. I think they're coming for me. Oh no, they kept going. Okay, good. This might be a piece of history. It really might. This might be the last great PIBA training shoe. I have no faith in the Endorphin Azura. More like Endorphin Basura from the looks of it. Taking out the plastic plate of the Speed, giving it a different name. And everyone else is moving on to TPU, so This could be the last great Pima trainer. All right, I've got my combination here. I've got my Labradoodle. What's a Labradoodle? You combine a Labrador Retriever and a Poodle. The Labradoodle for this is the Evo Plus, or the Vomero SL. It very much feels like you combined the cushion of the Vomero Plus and the protection with the geometry and the lightweight of the Evo. So if you like either of those shoes, which 90% of people do, you will like this. This is a hit. This is a hit for sure, man. It's crazy to me how a new brand can chef this up on their first try. It's insane. I might reach out to them and see if I can get some details on the development process, because, man, it is impressive. Big brands should take note, but you gotta love a challenger brand coming in, disrupting, and putting out heat. That's how you keep the big guys on their toes. No pun intended. Mile 4, 7 flat, one more comp, better executed Balos. Geometry very much feels like the New Balance Balos, but you're not getting as much mush, and it's more speed capable. Might have to do a dog breeds comparison for the Instagram. This is a Labradoodle for sure. Approachable, fun-loving, combines the best elements of two popular breeds or two popular shoes. Megablast, Vizsla. Energetic, wants you to run in it all the time. Fast, aggressive. Super Blast, Pitbull. I'm in the streets getting mileage in the UFO. These guys posting on their stoop, looking broke. I don't even have to say it. You know who the GOAT. Fox. Oh my gosh. GoPro died, so I really hope we got the broke guys on the stoop bar and the Fox. That was cool, man. We saw a Fox. Life is good. New tripod. Look at this. I could bang it all around. This puppy's not going anywhere because we have the steel ball joint in this guy. We also have the Pats playing in primetime tonight. Man, it's been a rare occasion the past 4 or 5 years to have the Pats in primetime, man. They have not been good for a while. It's crazy because I know people don't want to hear a Patriots fan complain, but think about this. The last time the Patriots were good and won the Super Bowl, same season, Charlie was pregnant with Mason, our oldest. We were living in Bushwick. I actually had a Super Bowl party in our apartment in Bushwick. So that was 2018, end of 2018 to early 2019. Almost 7 years ago at this point. So it's been a gosh dang drought of the Pats being terrible. They're back in the primetime tonight. They should beat down on the Jets. You never know with these things, though, because this is a classic trap game situation. But I don't think Mike Vrabel is going to let that happen. He's a good coach. But that's the second good thing. What was it? The Fox, the Patriots. We got a banger of a shoe on our foot. So that's a trifecta. That's a trifecta of good things. Even though the GoPro died. But yeah, man, this shoe, wow. This is a good one, man. Also, I didn't even say anything about the upper, but this is a fantastic upper. It really does remind me of a basketball shoe in all the right ways with how locked down it is, the nice padding. Just feels like a well put together product worth $200, man. And I was saying about the tier Maverick, I think that's only $150 MSRP and it goes down to $110. Some of the elements of that shoe felt cheap. The upper felt super plasticky.
and cheap. The insole was cheap. This one, that's not the case, man. I mean, on the insole of this, you have this beautiful design. So just a lot of attention to detail. Really feels like an artistic product or just some craftsmanship. I don't know. I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan. So let's close it out. I actually did some strides at the end there. I was absolutely moving. I was getting down to, I think, 420 pace at the end. So yeah, average, can you see this? Average 7:05 pace for the full run, 8 miles, 25 hundredths, 58 minutes, and 26 seconds. I didn't even realize I was moving that nicely this morning. Efficiency 103%. Best mile 6:19. That must have been at the end. Average heart rate 144, max at 178. So really solid run. And this is the perfect, 381 feet elevation over 8 miles. But this was the perfect run for this shoe. It really suited it well because I could have gone out at recovery pace, which would have been more 740, 750 and slower, even into the 8s. But this thing had me moving. It had me getting up on my toes, hitting off the front with a quick cadence. And I just can't unsee the basketball shoe thing. Every time I look at this, I think of all the basketball shoe. What silhouette is it? Is it the Anthony Edwards that this looks like? It's something. Regardless, very quick feeling up at the front. It encourages a faster foot strike, but it is more comfortable than something like the Evo SL. So really does a nice job blending comfort and speed and delivering on that super trainer promise.
Bathrooms, I can all day. We be steady mobbing, okay, Masabi, jogging is my hobby. I had to throw on the Wayne this morning. Steady mobbing, because we're steady mobbing in the UFO. What do you know about steady mobbing, bro? What do you know about some faster zone 2? Maybe low zone 3 miles, just steady getting after it. But this is the thing. My fitness is rounding a corner, so my old steady pace, that just might be my new daily pace. I mean, that might just be my new daily pace. I'm feeling like 2008 Lil Wayne just freestyling in the streets with the foxes. You're on the couch checking boxes. I don't know. The reason I'm so hyped, though, we're in the light again today. Look at this. Look at the sunlight on my face, man. Look at this perfectly lit shot. I don't know how much more time we have being in the light, but it's a beautiful thing. And look at that. Our R.A.D. UFO is in the light. And the other reason I had to throw on Wayne, wait, do we have the right? Yeah, we do. Okay, sometimes the light setting gets messed up, but we got the tripod with the steel ball socket joint. This puppy's going nowhere. It's just a good day. But yeah, I had the Lil Wayne going because what does Lil Wayne say? We are not the same. I am a Martian. We are not the same. I'm a Martian, and I'm running the UFO. And my guy Caleb Beck, he's been commenting the alien and Martian emojis on my Strava for weeks now because he's really been wanting me to check this out. And we typically like the same shoes, me and Caleb Beck. We've actually traded shoes in the past. What is the shoe that he got me? Oh, Boston 13, man. So Caleb Beck, this is my guy. He's from Coeur d'Alene. I think that was called Idaho. And fun fact, Charles, she follows all these mom accounts that do cool interior design stuff and baking stuff. And one of her favorite people is from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Apparently it gets super cold out there. Super cold. Negatives American, that's brick. If you're out in Europe, that's brick. Negatives American, because our freezing point is 32. Yours is 0. But my guy Caleb Beck, he got me the Boston 13. This is the thing about the Supple app and the Supple community. It's just such a caring, supportive place. He got the Boston 13 early, and he literally sent it to me without wanting anything back. I ended up sending him the Diodora Gara. This has happened a few times, man. I've traded things, and it's not just me. People pass on really good deals, really good shoes, and it's just a place where people get after and support you. So you hear me talking about Supple app this, Supple app that. I'm not just pumping it up for marketing fluff. It's real. It's real. Similar to this shoe. A lot of this stuff they're saying is not just marketing fluff. But the other thing I wanted to say about the Supple app, this week, somebody leaked an entire Asics 2026 product catalog. It was sick. Sonic Blast 2, Super Blast 3. They had a new shoe called the Gel Slow Cush, which I guess is an even more Nimbus, an even more Glide Ride Maxi. Glide Ride Maxi. It was with a new foam called, I think, FF Lux or something like that. What else was in there? Nova Blast 6, which was going to be a dual foam, kind of similar to this. It had FF, what's the new one? FF Leap or no, FF Turbo 2, or squared up in the forefoot with the Blast Max in the back. That looked crazy. So another reason to be on the Subway Lab. And we're doing the community challenge again, starting up Monday. There's no fee, there's no sign-up cost, slightly different. Every time we've done it slightly differently. So the last time it was $30 to join. You got a shirt, you got a bunch of workouts. That was really fun. Run some dang hills. We'll probably do it like that again, another Run Some Dang Hills next year, where you sign up, you pay, you get the workouts and everything. This time, something's about to fall. I hear creaking over there in the trees. A little too much creaking. Yeah, this time, no sign-up fee. It's just, well, I hate when people say something is free when it's not. It's not free. It's included in your membership. So if you're not a member, you can sign up for $5 and it's included. But for everybody in the community, and there's no workouts this time. I'm not programming anything. It's not about the workouts. It's about getting through the holiday season. So it's going to be 4 weeks. The goal is to run or walk every day, daily, from next Monday all the way through to Christmas, or the week before Christmas. Maybe we'll extend it, but we're doing 4 weeks first. And the way it's going to work, Meredith is going to post one question. This was Meredith's brilliant idea. One question each week. The first week, we're starting off with, what is your why? And you can answer the question in a post and also include all of your runs. So it'll be a fun way to engage with the community, to share some on our journeys, because we've found that on the app, that is one of the huge pieces that makes it such a cool place. People sharing their backgrounds, their stories, these weight loss stories, the stories of people coming back from injuries, all these things. And it doesn't even have to be anything intense. It could just be, hey, I'm running for health. I'm running for longevity. That's why I started running. So that's going to kick off Monday. It's called the DQ Challenge, aka Didn't Quit Challenge. And another great reason to join is if, man, like me, if you didn't get your fall marathon goal and you're wanting a little extra motivation to either do a 5K PR or a half marathon PR, or just keep training through and capitalizing on that fitness, you should join. And it's just a hard time of year, man. I was saying this in my video yesterday when I was up at 4:30 a.m. to go to the gym, and the thermometer in my Jeep was saying it was 37 degrees American outside. It's a gosh dang hard time of year. And if you don't have access to a treadmill, if you don't have access to a slightly less than punishing environment to run, it can be even harder to get out of bed in the morning at 5 a.m. or for 4:30. I know some people even get up at 3:30 a.m. to run in the morning. Just absolute craziness. So community challenge kicking off Monday. Can be helpful, should be helpful for getting you out the door through the tough holidays. You know what else can be helpful for getting you out the door through the tough holidays? A good pair of running shoes. And that's what we have here today, R.A.D UFO. So full disclosure, I got to do the disclosure now because they sent this to me. I feel like a young Kofuzi or something. Who you calling small? Yeah, R.A.D sent this to me for free. And yeah, that's the disclosure, right? They send it to me for free. I've gone back and forth on this. The last shoes that I accepted for free were, and this is kind of what ended it, I got the Cielo 2.0 for free, and I didn't really like it, and I was saying this is mid. It feels like running on top of wet sushi or something. So it's just, I don't know. I don't love getting the shoes for free, but thankfully I have no guilt with this one, because sometimes you get the shoe for free. Oh, I got that Topo shoe for free, and I was saying it looked like a swagless Subaru driver shoe, and just all this just mean kind of jerky stuff, and I can be a stack hole sometimes. But with this one, I don't have much bad to say about it, man. This is a complete banger. Like I was saying out there on the run, and we can throw it up here, 8 miles at a 7:0 pace, some nice steady miles out there, mobbing, moving, feeling good. This feels like one of the best executions of this type of a shoe that I have seen yet. Nice tall stack height, not too much. You're not going up into that Mag Max territory. We measured in at 37 in the back in the heel cup, 45 in the middle, so decent stack, but not Mag Maxi or Vomero Premium-y, and really lightweight for what you're getting. So 275 grams, man, that is almost down at the Super Blast range. The Super Blast is 250, 260, depending on what kind of insole setup you have in there, but much lighter than the Mag Max Nimbus and what was the other shoe we had, a Vomero Plus. And I came into this run thinking this would be more of a Vomero Plus because every single brand wants their shoe to be fast. And it was so funny seeing that Asics shoe that got leaked called the Gel Slow Cush. I was so happy to see a brand put slow in the name of a shoe. And hopefully that actually is the name they go out to market with that shoe. But it's just hilarious because everything wants to be fast. Even these slow shoes are trying to be fast. If you look at the marketing copy for the Vomero Plus, it's going to say energetic speed daily trainer. And it does have more balance than a Pegasus or, I don't know, a Nimbus maybe, or a Bondi, but the Vomero Plus is not a speed shoe. But everybody wants to be fast, or at least that's the consumer truth that brands are using to market their products. So of course this was gonna say it's gonna be the fastest thing. They have the dual foam PIBA, but I was not expecting it to be speedy at all. I was expecting this to be more of a Vomero Plus, which is a daily trainer with some pep. But I was wrong, and I was surprised. This is close to Evo SL with the geometry, with the balance. It is extremely energetic, and man, once you get this thing going, it can fly. If we look at these splits and we look at the strides in particular, so with the splits actually, before I talk about the strides, which are the pace pickups, I was just going out for a recovery run this morning, and of course the shoe wasn't making me run a minute or 90 seconds faster than my recovery pace. That is how I'm periodizing my training right now, doing slightly lower volume with slightly faster paces. Regardless, I was going out for a recovery run. I would have been happy with 730, 740 pace, and this shoe had me going at a 7 flat pace with a very similar effort. So gives a lot of what you put back into it, extremely energetic, and it's one of these shoes similar to the Vomero Plus where it wants you to fall into that stride. If you're leaning forward and you catch at this point of the shoe, there's another Evo SL thing, it just pops you along. Feels great when you're up in the cadence and very much landing on the front of the shoe. It is a landing zone shoe and it wants you up here. I was barely heel striking on the back, and you can even see, if you look at the rubber back here and the foam, we're not seeing much dirt back here because it really wants you right here and forward. It wants you to land not even flat-footed, but like this. And when you do that, man, it gives you a whole lot of what you're putting in. This also looks like a foam posit. You know what I'm saying? The Nike Fit. There's something about this shoe that's just basketball-y that I can't get off my, every time I look at it. Yeah, energetic, bouncy. The cushion to speed and the stack to bounce ratio is really incredible. So another shoe that was coming to mind was Megablast, and I know that's going to be a big comparison. It's probably more Megablasty than Vomero Plusy. It's in between those two types of shoes. So it's not as comfortable and you don't get as much sink as the Vomero Plus when you land in the front, but it's not as aggressive as the Megablast. Way more comfort in this than the Megablast, especially around the upper. And that's another thing, like I was saying up there at the steps, man, a lot of these newer brands, they'll put a lot of emphasis on the midsole. So Tier Maverick, for example, they went with a great midsole. I think it was a PIBA EVA blend, the 100% of one type of a foam. But with this shoe, it feels like they put attention to detail from the top to the bottom because the upper is super comfortable. You get the padding on the tongue. You get the nice lacing setup, same thing that you get in the Vomero Plus. So upper is a lot better than the Megablast. Just a very considered shoe. It feels like a, what's the right word? I'm trying to think. It's what's it called when you have something that's artisan? That's the word. It feels like an artisan product. So that's what you're paying for with the $200 price point. Yeah, it's the performance, but it's also the attention to detail. And there are some elements of this that are better than the Megablast. Now, this is a PIBA foam, and I'm not sure how it's going to stand up for the long run. I'm not sure how it's going to stand up from a durability standpoint. But the upper is a lot more comfortable. The ride is a lot more comfortable than the Megablast and the Evo SL, and the speed is there. So this is in the conversation for sure. It rivals the Megablast, way better than the Evo SL out of the box here. And Tier Maverick, that's one that I liked a lot, but this just feels more refined. Everything about it feels polished, from the packaging to the foams to the upper. Yeah, I'm singing its praises, and I know I got it for free, and that's the hard thing and why I hate getting these shoes for free, because I just feel like I have to nitpick now and find something negative to say because I got it for free. But I really don't have a lot of negatives to say about this shoe. In terms of what they were trying to do, it is impressive with how they put this together. You would think this is a brand that's been doing it for decades, but the thing is, when you're a newcomer, man, when you're hungry, when you're a young fox in the game hunting, and you want to make a statement, it makes you go harder. This is what I learned when I was working for tech companies, right? We think a lot of the time these big tech companies, these established brands, for example, I work for NerdWallet. You would think that NerdWallet has the most advanced tools in tech and systems. No, NerdWallet, which was founded in, 2007 or 2012, something like that. Say founded 15, 20 years ago. It has the same tech from 15, 20 years ago. The startup with 3 people has the most advanced tech because you have to, right? With the Supple app, the new one, we're building everything from the ground up. Phil, the developer, is showing me all these crazy things he's doing on the back end. We have magic links to sign up and to log in, no password required. And I'm saying, what the heck is this? And he says, no, this is the frontier. This is how the best brands are doing it. This is the new tech. This is the new way. So with these new brands, a lot of the time you can be the most innovative because you've never done it before. You're starting from scratch, so why not do it the best way? You don't have the legacy. You don't have all the historical baggage. So that's why they're able to come up with something like this. But still, super impressive, man. This is what Tracksmith tried to do with the Elliott Runner. This is what a lot of us thought it would be with the dual PIBA 2 years ago. Much better execution and implementation of it here. This is what New Balance tried to do with the Balos, with the PIBA and the dual foam and the rocker. Much better implementation of it here. So brands have been trying to do this. Topo Spectra is another one. Non-plated PIBA daily trainer. We thought it was going to be this. It's not. This is one that finally feels like it's delivering on the promise of non-plated PIBA, and it really might be the last great PIBA training shoe. All the best foams now that are coming out are either TPEE based, like Mizuno, or aliphatic TPU based, like we see in Saucony and some of the Adidas foams and the Asics foam. So this is making PIBA great again. No MAGA, giving me my swagger back. Let's close it out with the 3 questions that we always ask and answer in these first round reviews. So first, how does this compare to its intended purpose? R.A.D UFO, designed to be a super trainer. I've struggled with this phraseology a lot because these words don't mean anything. Super foam, it means nothing. On calls their EVA-based foam a super foam, and there's no government agency that regulates it. That's why I have this channel. I'm really the only one who is crazy enough to bang my head against the wall talking about this, but some people are noticing, and brands actually have started disclosing more what these compounds are and what the differences are, and I love that because it's very opaque a lot of the time with what's going into these shoes, and it's still not as transparent as I would love it to be. But consumers do care, and the chorus of voices has put pressure on these brands to say what's actually going into it. But with the super trainer thing, what they mean when they say that is a versatile training shoe that can do a lot and leans toward speed. People aren't going to call a comfort shoe a super trainer, although I really hope that that's the next frontier of just delivering the most comfortable shoe possible. Glizzy Max did it last year. This year, though, again, we started to see more innovation in the speed camp. That's my neighbor's car. With the Evo SL and the Megablast, the Tier Maverick, and now this. A bunch of great non-plated shoes. So that's what this is going up against. That's what this is designed to do. It's designed to be a speedy, everyday shoe that can also go long. Now, with this run today, I only went about an hour. I went 8 miles at a 7 flat pace, so a little bit under. But I have to say, it stood up really well. As I got deeper into that run, more of the speed was coming through versus the comfort. But just with the upper and with the stack and the width here, you get a lot of stability. I mean, just look at this thing. Look how girthy it is. You get a lot of stability. You get a lot of impact protection. So I'm going to give us a massive thumbs up. That's hard to say. I sound like I had a lisp. Massive thumbs up. That's like the big math competition where they bring all the schools from the district. They call it massive thumbs up in terms of what they're trying to do with this blending speed and comfort. Like I was saying, man, I was going 10 to 20, 30 seconds faster than I needed to this morning. Not with any additional crazy effort, right? The heart rate was in a good place. The effort felt like I was in a good place, and I was even pulling myself back and slowing myself down. So in terms of the intended purpose, great. I do want to test this on a long run, so that'll likely be the next video I put together on this shoe. How does it do for a 2-hour long run, or at least a 90-minute long run? Does it really stand up? Because it feels like the speed capability is there, which brings me to question number 2. How does this compare to the other shoes in the category? So we can put this up against the Vomero Plus and the Super Blast, but really I would go Evo SL, Megablast, Tier Maverick. Out of that crop, this is the most comfortable. This also has the best upper, and it feels the most, I don't know what the right word, just the nicest. Something about this shoe just feels really nice with the padding you get on the upper, just all the materials, the attention to detail. It's rare that you get something like this in a running shoe. A lot of the brands will just slap an ortholite insole in. So I love to see the design coming through. It's just, again, highly considered. This colorway is sick. That is something that sets this apart. Very Tracksmithy. Tracksmith puts a lot of attention to detail from their products. But again, what I like about this is it's not taking itself too seriously. There's a joy to it. There's a levity to it. There's a self-referential humor to it with the whole UFO thing and the R.A.D thing. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek. They call it UFO. It's silly. It looks like a flying saucer. And then the performance, it really does back it up. So more comfortable on the first run, more comfortable than Evo SL, Megablast, Maverick. Megablast is still, when it comes to the speed capability and the performance, I think I'm going to have a hard time putting anything above that, but this does feel slightly less punishing, slightly less harsh at the slower efforts, but I wasn't going super slow today, so I'll have to test it at a true recovery run. But I will put it up there with the Megablast in terms of just enjoyment and excitement to run in it again. And this is a first run review. I always have to say it's a first run review, so we'll have to see how this evolves over time, but I really like it. Another thing that sets this apart, dude, this outsole, this was super grippy. This was really gripping the ground and just pulling me along. So I have to test in the wet, but I've got to say, man, this really felt good out there, gripping the ground, and hopefully this will add some good durability to the platform. So versus the other shoes in the category, slightly more comfortable, feels just as speed capable. The Maverick might have it for the speed capability, but yeah, the Maverick and the Evo and the Megablast, those just all feel slightly harsher. This has just a 5%, 7% plusher feel, nudges closer to that Max Vomero Plus territory while keeping the weight really low. So it's a combination of those two types of shoes. I was saying Evo SL and Vomero Plus, you smush those things together, that's what you get. Which brings me to question number 3. How does this compare to everything else on the market? Man, it's a nice blend. It's a great blend of the speed and the comfort. It's a lot more approachable than a lot of the quote-unquote super trainers out there. It looks fun. I think a lot of people will enjoy this shoe. And yeah, it seems like it's going to be a lot less polarizing than the Evo SL and even the Megablast to a certain extent. You're not going to have the fit and sizing issues of the Megablast. You're not going to have the harshness underfoot of the Evo SL. The one watch out though is the speed thing. This is a speedy feeling shoe and a shoe that wants you to pick up the pace. So just keep that in mind. And that's something I was thinking about with the Vomero Plus too. That one, even compared to the other Max Cushion shoes, it does want me to pick up the pace some. So this is not a Nimbus. This is not a Ghost Max. It is gonna force you or encourage you to be up on your toes and putting down some power. So for some people, this could be a workout shoe. It could be a long run shoe. It could even be a half marathon race shoe or a 10K race shoe. It felt great at these 7-minute mile paces, which I know for a lot of people are race paces. So it truly feels capable of a bunch of different things, but just keep in mind, maybe not the recovery running shoe if you're trying to keep your paces low and slow. That is the one area where I feel, I don't know if it's a demerit to this shoe, but just a reality, similar to the Megablast, right? So same trade-offs as the Megablast, the Maverick, and the Evo SL, but you do get more comfort. So it's not punishing you, and it wasn't punishing me at the slower paces, which I was barely running today, but it just wants me to run those faster paces. So that is something to keep in mind versus the category. If you're going to spend $200 on a shoe, this one is a speedier option versus something like the Mag Max or the Glizzy. I know the Glizzy Max 2 is coming out soon. That one likely, we'll see, but that one likely is going to be a better recovery run option or a slower run option, similar to the Vomero Premium, right? So if we bring that one into the conversation, that's more of the slow, low recovery shoe. This is more of the energetic daily trainer. And I have to say, man, I've really been enjoying slightly lighter weight shoes. The Nimbus, the Vomero Plus, now this for my recovery runs versus the big clunkers like the Vomero Premium. With that one, I liked it, and it really is bouncy, but just feels like a lot of shoe on foot, especially if you are a lighter runner or just don't like the feeling of big stack. So if you like max cushion, but you don't want a ton of that soft, squishy foam, you will love this. If you like the Evo SL, you will love this. If you like the Vomero Plus and want something slightly firmer and faster, you will love this. Overall banger, man. Not a lot wrong with it. Put together beautifully. Yeah, super impressed with it. Giving it a massive thumbs up. This is an A plus first run out of the box. We'll have to see on the long run. That could potentially, potentially knock it down. But yeah, first run, absolute banger, man. So shout out Caleb Beck for bullying me into reviewing this. Shout out R.A.D for dropping a heater. Also for reaching out, man. I love when these challenger brands come and make a solid effort. So I appreciate you. Thank you everyone for watching the video. DQ Didn't Quit Challenge starts Monday, so sign up for the app if you are not. Oh, the last thing I was gonna say about the app, man, so many people on the app have gotten this before me. This is a sicko shoe. I saw somebody bought this and they said, you guys bullied me into getting it. And they were having FOMO. And so I saw that before I saw what shoe it was, and I saw it was the R.A.D UFO. And I just thought that was so funny because the app drummed up buzz for the shoe before I even was able to test it. So if you're a sicko or you want to become a shoe sicko, get on the app. I appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. It's nice to have this new tripod, man. I feel like a new man. This thing is beefy. It's substantial. It's going nowhere. Feels like it could really stand the test of time, too. That last tripod was a joke. It was a joke. Back with a new tripod. It's the young running shoe rhyme god. I'm not a tryhard, but I try hard. Might trade my iPhone for an iPod. Can't check YouTube comments on an iPod, man. I might get a flip phone. I'm so much happier without social media. One more thing. Oh my gosh. That was my neighbor's kid just running across the street. That's not good. Watch out, buddy. Well, there's a car coming the other way. Oh my goodness. Yeah, one more thing for the real sickos out here. We got some double day insights on the R.A.D UFO. So I did stack an afternoon run in this thing. I felt like I had to. After all those emojis that Caleb Beck commented for something like 3 weeks straight on both my morning run and afternoon run, he was putting the alien emojis. So this is mostly for you, Caleb. But 6 miles, 1600s, 45 minutes and 15 seconds. 7 minutes and 21 seconds. Funny, it says my efficiency was great, 103%. I felt like a moderate garbage out there, but I've been super fresh the past few weeks. Man, banging these afternoon runs at 7 flat, 720, 710. Much better than where I was over the summer. I think the heat going away has helped a ton. Also, stacking those 130 and 140 mile weeks over the summer is now helping the 100-mile week feel super low. So this is the thing about the high mileage. Yes, sometimes you have the cumulative fatigue and it feels like you're running with that weighted vest on. And then when you take it off, man, you're flying. This felt like a slow recovery run to me. And I was banging average 721 pace, man. That's not bad. Last mile banged to 642. So that's what you call progress right there. Average heart rate, 137. Yeah, been running really well these past few weeks. And R.A.D UFO, my main takeaway, because for most of that run, the metrics were good, but it was not a super enjoyable run. Sometimes these afternoon runs feel like that for one reason or another, whether it's not nailing the refuel or having the coffee at the wrong time or just the workouts from the previous days feeling like they're in the leg still. Sometimes these afternoon runs don't feel super smooth. Or another thing could be I went 6 miles instead of 4. I've been doing 4 in the Vomero Plus pretty much every afternoon, and it's perfect. But because I only went 8 this morning, wanted to do 6 the afternoon. Regardless, this is a good shoe for getting out there and running again. Man, it's still super energetic,
But like I was saying earlier, man, very much on that aggressive, speedy side. This had me wanting to pick it up. It had me wanting to get up on the forefoot. A more comfortable Evo SL is the closest comp to this. Definitely firmer and more aggressive than the Vomero Plus. Again, it's like if you combine those two shoes, but I think more Evo SL probably than Vomero Plus. But everything always feels harsher, firmer, more aggressive on the second run. So definitely not a slow recovery cruiser. That's the main thing with this. If you want that, I would go Neo Zen, maybe even Neo Vista, Nike Vomero Premium. Some people could get away with the Vomero Plus, but that feels slightly more energetic to me. Puma Mag Max would be another one. This, dude, what they were saying on the pamphlet there, that was not bogus. I do think I could do a threshold run in this thing, man. I feel like it could get down to 530s, no problem, like I was doing on my Stride. So maybe that will be the next test of this. I want to do a long run to see how it does, and then also some faster than Zone 3 stuff, some 10K pace or half marathon pace. That'll be a fun test of these. But yeah, big thumbs up. This is an A for sure. Not going to give it an A+. We're going to give it an A. Very Evo SL Megablast. This is another good one, man. And the other thing I was thinking of earlier, it's crazy how many good shoes have dropped this year. And also, this might be the year of the Challenger brand. I don't want to give too much away, but maybe one of the 2025 themes, right? We have this shoe, Challenger brand, Tier Maverick, Challenger brand, even Salomon to a lesser extent, but they're not as established on the road. That's a Challenger brand, so potentially one of the 2025 themes. And year of the non-plated speed shoe, another theme. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know, Jim. All right, that is all I have for you today. Truly, I appreciate you. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Mileage train keeps rolling.